Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Networking While Social Distancing. Thanks for joining us today. I am here with Dr. Austin Hill. I'm going to turn it over to him to say hi. Austin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Austin J. Hill. I am the Director of Strategic Partnerships at Harford Community College. Previously,
Woo-hoo.
my role, previously my role, Harford County Public Schools, was the Academy of Finance Coordinator at Edgewood High School, something that was very near and dear to my heart. I've been an adjunct at Harford Community College for over 5 years in the CBAT department, which is Continuing Education, Business, and Applied Technology.
Nailed it. What should we know about Dr. Austin J. Hill?
So personally, I am engaged. I'm set to be married tentatively July 3rd, 2020. The COVID-19 has impacted our current plans, my fiance and my daughter. We were set to go to Montego Bay, Jamaica. But currently, the island and the resort in which we were staying was shut down. So we are looking for alternative plans. So that has definitely kept me busy during these recent months and trying to coordinate and see what other states are doing. Well, I'm originally from Wilmington, Delaware. My parents are located in Delaware, and the state has put in a travel ban for individuals leaving and entering into the state. If you leave and enter into the state, you have to do a 14-day self quarantine, which would be extremely difficult
Right.
for my parents. So it's a waiting game and a waiting pattern as far
Mm,
as. But personally, I like reading up on technology. I'm big on technology. I'm looking at seeing how the financial markets are being impacted by a lot of the decisions that are currently going on.
So first off, congratulations on being engaged, and I'm sure you and your family will find a suitable arrangements that are worthy to honor the union. Sorry that it's happened in the middle of this pandemic, though.
Yes, but God makes no mistakes, and I know that He has a plan and a vision for us, and I can't wait to see what that is.
What about your work life? How has that changed since this pandemic started?
So I will say that the from an instructional standpoint, because I'm still employed by Harvard County Public Schools, I have been a digital teacher pretty much my entire time at Edgewood High School. I've been utilizing something called OneNote and OneNote notebooks
Yep.
because I understand the importance of students always having access to their assignments and being able to turn in work. So because of that, we've been utilizing that continuously. So when everything went to online, for the most part, students didn't really see a hiccup or miss a beat because they're already used to that. I know that a lot of subject matter areas are struggling because it's impossible to do a science lab,
Sure.
remote. Um, it's very difficult for individuals to learn math concepts, remotely. So I can see the stress that is placing on a lot of our teaching staff, which then will begin to impact their overall health because of pressures. So it's extremely important that individuals, as much as possible, are listening to their bodies and paying attention because stress and pressure can have a negative impact on their health and their immune system as well.
Sure. And that's something I've been talking with my team about in the videos I've been doing. What about you? Are you doing anything special or particular
Well,
to manage all this?
yes, I've been working actually with a virtual personal trainer to
Right.
pick up techniques and different things that'll keep me physically fit. I've been going out on walks and venturing out, and there's like an open field in my backyard where my neighborhood is. So I've been venturing out and walking around, just enjoying the sun, doing a lot of things that normally on a day-to-day basis I would not have the opportunity to be able to do. I think that's important for that work-life balance, understanding and knowing that, and it might sound crazy or funny, but we are all now extremely stationary, meaning that things that are set at tentative deadlines outside of financial impact, it's okay to take that break because
Sure.
what you don't want to do is push yourself to a limit to where you're then having a breakdown and then you are no good to your family at home or even to your employer who is also going to be looking to still need you on Monday. So it's okay to take that 15 minute, that 30 minute, even that hour. Okay, let me step a while outside. Let me sit outside on my deck or my porch. Let the fresh air hit my face, because that's what's going to be the difference to make you a better you for everyone
Yep.
around.
And I appreciate you saying that. And I just call attention to Dr. Jackson's email. She says something to me along the lines of, if there's things we can put off, put them off. We're not going to be able to do everything perfect and everything to the high quality and expectations that we typically have, and that's okay. So, what you're saying just rings true with, what we've heard from Dr. Jackson and the need to balance ourselves and pace ourselves in this environment. A lot of people that I've talked to have mentioned that a lot of us, me included, are starting to feel more worn out at the end of the day. This is still tiring. Do you feel that way?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. 100%, because I think the expectation for people outside of the day to day is that you can get a lot more because you're not leaving, you're not doing anything. But in actuality, those little breaks where you get up and walk, from one part of campus to another, or you have the multiple meetings, back to back. I mean, because your brain is a muscle, and you are
Right.
essentially using that muscle consistently for 5 or 6 consecutive hours. So that probably has a lot to do with the fatigue that's going on. Okay.
So you talked about the teaching profession and education in general. So some of us are finding ourselves ahead of the curve with technology and education, but I know that not everyone is feeling as prepared to switch to remote working, remote learning. What does that look like? Are a lot of your peers prepared, or are people really struggling?
A lot of people are struggling because I don't. One, you could never prepare for a situation such as this. You also have
Sure,
to understand and realize, for a lot of teachers, depending upon when you went to undergrad or graduate school, you may not have been formally introduced to digital technology as far as learning. So
sure,
if you're somebody who graduated and has been in the profession, longer than me, you're not used to now moving everything over to be 24/7 digital. So I mean, there's a learning curve on that. On top of now trying to create resources and create different items for short term and long term. So you're also trying to gauge what truly is an hour. Is it my hour? Is it a student's hour? What does that look like? And we're waiting on the state superintendent. So you're feeling the pressure there. So you really are unsure. And now I just got an alert that the state of Maryland is now shut down through the 15th of May. So now we don't know what that's going to look like. But I think that in a lot of situations, what you are dealing with on a regular basis is three different things. You're dealing with parents who want what's best for their kids at all times, and they want them to continuously be able to grow. But you're also having to understand that there are many individuals who are not as fortunate and do not have access to technology on a regular basis. And then, even with those who do have access to technology, so you have high school parents who are now struggling, like, okay, I want what's best for my child. I want to be able to help them, but I physically cannot. And that has to be draining as well. So, I mean, you have a lot of dynamics that are going into the regular day to day instruction of a teacher that they have to be mindful and cognizant of. Besides the fact, we are instructing from 12 to 3. So I'll throw this at you. If I have an average class size of 30 students, that means that on a regular basis, I can only give each student roughly about 3 to 4 minutes.
wow,
So you have all these things now in the back of your head, like, am I taking too long with the student? Am I taking too short? Do I want to give them too much information, not enough information? So you just have a lot of dynamics that teachers are trying to fight through. And then you have the public saying, oh, they shouldn't be paid because they're not doing this or that, or this is their job. I mean, there's something to be
right.
said about people who answer the call and are able to do something that is against the norm, because digital learning for the most part, is completely against the norm, and we have been standing this up and marching for it ever since we have been asked to, and that's something to be said about the profession.
It's a hard job.
It is. It is. It is. It is because it's not just teaching. I mean, you are the emotional counselor. I mean, I've had sessions, even beyond the 3 o'clock, with students just saying, "Hey, I just need somebody to talk to because my mom's a nurse," or "Hey, my dad's working in the factory. Some days I don't know if he's going to come back." And you're never just a teacher. It's
Mm.
always wearing multiple hats.
Some of the things I've been listening to and reading certainly has defined the current situation as like a watershed moment. What about education? Do you see us going back to where we were, or if not, what do you think will change as we come out of this pandemic?
I don't think things would and should go back to how they were. I think that now we can begin to look at, excuse me, individuals with different expertise skill sets to be able to do virtual contracted items to help improve the overall situation of different institutions. Think that you're going to see more contractors that are going to be able to put things in place to take more off of different teachers and different administrators and things of that nature to be able to help. I think you're going to see a lot more counseling and counseling services. So if you're somebody who needs to be able to talk to a counselor remotely. And, what does that look like? Let's say it's the heavy season right now for you all within your position. And people are registering for classes and need to access people remotely. How would you feel about saying, hey, we're going to have a 2 week time span where we're going to need to hire somebody digitally remotely. We can now understand because we've already put things within Microsoft Teams in place and have things in place to be able to support the need for this set amount of time to be able to handle whatever comes our path. So I think the business model overall will begin to change to be able to support more and more learners. I think we're going to be able to offer more services, take the pressure off of people, and be able um, to develop something that is going to be great for education as a whole.
Right. Yeah, I think the saying is that necessity is the mother of all invention, and there were some opportunities in this for us to do things that we've always wanted to do. We knew we wanted to do, but never had the time or the bandwidth. Things that we might not have even considered in some cases as a viable option. Now all of a sudden we're learning, okay, it can be done.
And isn't it a beautiful thing? Isn't it a
I
beautiful
think so.
thing? Individuals who normally may not have come together on different topics are now collaborating and coming up with something beautiful that is benefiting people. I think that and the beauty in everything, even beyond, the current virus, is that we can see and appreciate that even in our darkest hour, we are able to create and cultivate something that is beautiful, that is still going to be able to impact individuals. I think that's what gives me the most hope and the most joy out of this whole situation. While we very much so should probably be down on a day-to-day basis, there's joy in knowing that each day that I wake up, I'm able to collaborate and connect with people like you and other individuals to create something that has never been done before, that is forever going to impact the lives of those who are connected to us.
We talked about the many hats that you're wearing, and you're a young professional somewhere in your mid career. If people look at you and they see what you've done, and what advice would you have for them?
So first, um, just to put it out there, I am 31 years of age. I have been in education for 10 years and higher ed for 5.
Hmm.
Uh, what I will say has been the most impactful and helpful is having mentors. You have to have a mentor and a champion. And I talked about this actually on a YouTube video that I created and put on my YouTube channel, and talked about the importance of a mentor to be able to show you the way, show you the right things to do, be able to bring you into situations and teach you and grow your capacities. But also, as you are getting mentored, you also have to have the ability to be able to help your mentor. because 9 times out of 10, as your mentor is doing their day to day, they may not be aware of different technological advances or different things that you may be aware of because you're newly, out of college and are up to date with a lot of things that have been able to be produced and come out. So it is your task and your duty to try to make the load lighter for your mentor. And I would also encourage individuals to latch onto a champion. And by latching onto a champion, meaning somebody who is within that industry that has the ability to put your name out there and put you into rooms so that you can become on committees. I mean, um, so my champion was Riker Hughes. And Riker Hughes was able to get me onto faculty council. Faculty council, as an adjunct alternate, allowed me to participate in multiple different committees and in different situations, different projects within the college, which then got me in front of Dr. Phillips at the time to begin talking about the Edgewood, HCC at Edgewood, and the project down there and becoming involved. Not having that champion to put my name out there, I can't say that I would have accelerated my growth as quickly as it has been. So for any young professional, I would encourage you to seek out a mentor. Say yes. Do not look at the numbers. I will say for every committee that I have ever served on or anything that I've done has been voluntary. It has not been attached with a dollar sign. It has been with me knowing that the more that I am able to learn and grow and develop is only going to help me in my tool set that I'm going to need for the next position. So try to be a sponge and try to grow and get your hands dirty and work on projects and have other people see your abilities and value them because people value talent. And any strong organization will absolutely value talent.
So we're winding down to the end of my questions, but I always like to have a lighthearted question in here.
Okay. Okay.
So I was wondering, if you had a superpower at work, what would it be and why?
Whew, if I had a superpower at work, what would it be and why? And it's funny. I don't know. Are you a Marvel fan?
Yeah, I'm down with the Marvel universe.
Okay, so growing up, I wasn't really into comics much. I just started getting into Marvel when the Avengers movie started coming out, and something that always sticks out is Iron Man. And I think Iron Man, while he had all of the gadgets and the tools, his biggest superpower to me was his heart. His heart, because no matter if he knew something was possibly going to go wrong or possibly going to go bad, even in the end game, his heart always prevailed and led him to doing the right thing. So my superpower would be, I guess, having a super heart because that will always put you in the right place to always do the right thing for people, and I think that's extremely important um, in a day to day and for a superhero because
Hmm,
your mind is going to tell you no, don't do it. Always do the safer thing, but your heart is always going to put you in a position to always care about people, and that to me was Iron Man's biggest superpower, especially in the end game.
that's awesome. Have some heart.
Have some
I
heart.
was I was going to take it a little bit to the lighter side and say I would like to be able to partake in all the snacks and parties and all the refreshments that you see around the office and not have any caloric
Oh,
or negative effect to my health. Uh,
who are you telling?
yeah. When will you officially be starting full time in your new role?
Officially, I'll be starting June 15th. I'm looking forward to it. We have a lot of things exciting. I have a lot of exciting plans. I've been working with Dr. Sherwood. I'll be working with you on bringing a lot of exciting programming down to the southern part of the county and starting to begin to cement HCC's footprint in the southern part of the county and showing how we can benefit the community as a whole.
Great. And sure, I assume that means that once we return to campus, we'll start seeing you around campus this summer.
Yeah,
I'll encourage everyone on my team and whoever's watching this video to, if they haven't met you already, to seek you out and say hi. I think you're a great person to know, and certainly someone who brings a lot of value to HCC, and a great commitment to our students. So thank you for all that you're doing.
I
Keep
appreciate that. I appreciate that. And please, anybody who sees this, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available. One of the things I want to do, especially when I start, is try to find at least a consistent day early on to be stationary in the library or somewhere. If somebody wanted to come and have a conversation or meet or share ideas and thoughts, I think that's extremely important to be as collaborative as possible and open as possible. So I look forward to being able to do that. And
anything that you want to plug or share, I will. If you give me the link, I'll share your YouTube video. Anything else of yours, or any other recommendations that you want to share?
recommendation one is to take care of yourself, listen to your body. If you feel like something is wrong, don't ignore it. That is something that a lot of people during this virus have done, and it has been detrimental to their overall health. So listen to your body, take time, take care of yourself. Um, and then when we return, always look to see how you become involved, what skill sets you've learned by working remotely, how it can be an added benefit, and continue to improve.
All right.
Every day.
Great advice, Dr. Hill. Thank you very much for your time, uh, and thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.